श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवगौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषण्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णा कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतसे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते ते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Again, we are not able to hear you. Hare Krishna. Uh, we are not able to hear your voice.
Prabhu, your voice is not coming. We are not able to.
Okay. Okay. I understood. Okay. भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां त्वया अपहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समादौ न विधीयते प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजऋषयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टपरन्तप परि परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे जन्मकर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन ओके तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयो न एव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ततमो मतः Hmm. Okay. Give me some time, I'll try to fix this issue. Just-
We are able to hear you clearly now.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay. Okay, so today who will read? Okay. Yes, bro, you can read from this paragraph. Yeah. So till now, Prabhupada has spoken about this Sanatana Dharma. So Prabhupada is more elaborating on that. Yeah, you can read the highlighted portion. Hari Bol, Yashras Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You
Yeah,
can
Hare
read.
Krishna. Yeah. Under these circumstances, we can see that one friend serves another friend, the mother serves the son, the wife serves the husband serves the wife, and so on. if we go on searching in this spirit, it will be seen that there is no exception in the society of living being to the activity of service. The politician present his manifesto for the public to convince them of his capacity for service. The voter therefore give the politician their valuable vote, thinking that he will render valuable service to society. The shopkeeper serves the customer, and the art, artisan serve the capitalist serve the family serve the state in the terms of eternal capacity of the eternal living being. In this way, we can see that no living being is exempt, exempt from rendering service to other living being, and therefore we can safely conclude that service is constant companion of living being, and that the rendering service is the eternal religion of the living being.
Okay, yeah. So even the service word, even in outside circle also they use like uh, they designate army as no service of the nation, serving the service of nation. So even Indian Post also has this no Aharnisham Seva Mahe. So that concept of service is there and people also recognize it, but only thing in the material realm service is limited. The scope for service is limited and the fulfillment in service is also limited. But in the spiritual realm, the service scope is unlimited and there is the fulfillment is eternal. So one can serve Krishna at any place, in any place, at any time. So that is the thing. Yeah. Okay. Now Prabhupada is again reiterating the same thing like Sanatan Dharma is something eternal. The religions are superficial. Yeah, now Prabhupada is explaining how demigod worship is different and it is not recommended in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, bro, you can read the only highlighted portions.
Here is a plainly said that those who are directed by lust worship the demigods and not the supreme Lord Krishna. Right?
Yeah,
Uh,
read the
yeah.
next.
Okay, the living entity. Okay. The living entities, like the Lord, are full of consciousness and they are after happiness. The Lord is perpetually happy, and if the living entities associate with the Lord, cooperate with Him, and take part in His association, then they also become happy. The Lord descends to His mortal world to show His pastime in Vrindavan, which are full of happiness.
Yeah. So the relationship with demigods, it's more like transactional. So as long as the worshipper does the worship of the demigod, he is pleased and he gives his benedictions. But if the worshipper suddenly stops doing worship, the demigod becomes angry. So we can see that in the Govardhan Leela, Indra becomes angry with the Brajavasis. But in Lord's pastimes, it is sweetness. It's not like Lord is depending on the worship of devotees. And if the devotees suddenly stop worshipping, the Lord becomes angry or becomes frustrated and all. Lord may become concerned, but he will not become frustrated and like that. Okay. Now Prabhupada again goes to the Sanatan Dham, describing the spiritual world. We are not discussing these things deeply because these things will anyhow come in the course of Gita. So that's why you are more reading. Yes, bro, you can read the highlighted portion.
Yeah. Of course, we have a material conception of the sky and we think of it in relation to the sun, moon, stars, and so on. But in this verse, the Lord states that in the eternal sky, there is no need for the sun, nor for the moon, nor electricity,
There
or
is no need for
fire,
this. Yeah.
nor electricity or fire of any kinds of, because the spiritual sky is already illuminated by the Brahma Jyoti. The rays emanate from the spiritual Supreme Lord. We are trying with difficulty to reach other planets, but it is not difficult to understand the abode of the Supreme Lord. This abode is referred to as a Goloka. In the Brahma Samhita 5.37, it is beautifully described Golok Eva nivasatya akhilatma bhuta. The Lord resides eternally in his abode Goloka, yet he can be approached from this world, and to this end, the Lord comes to manifest his real form, Satchidananda Vigraha. Brahma Samhita 5.1.
Okay. Yeah, now Prabhupada will tell again that no, we need not. He tells that you can go to Yanti Deva Bruta Deva. You can go to demigod planets, but still you will be in the material world and you will be suffering. Yes, you can read the highlighted portion.
In the material sky, even if we approach the highest planet, Brahmaloka, what to speak of the moon, we will find the same condition of life, namely birth, death, disease, and old age. No planet in this material universe is free from these four principles of material existence. Yeah. Yet Bhagavad Gita does not advise us to go to any of the planet in this material world, because even if we go to Brahmaloka, the highest planet, through some sort of mechanical contrivance, by maybe traveling for 40,000 years, and who would live that long, we will still find the material inconvenience of birth, death, disease, and old age. But one who wants to approach the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, or any of the other planet within the spiritual sky, will not meet with these material inconveniences.
The Prabhupada also speaks here about the yajna. So actually, we don't need mechanical planes and all, but if we do yajna, you can go to other planets. But yeah, then Prabhupada is describing about how the material world is a reflection of the spiritual world, giving the example which is given in Bhagavad Gita of the banyan tree in the 15th chapter. Like material world is like the shadow of the banyan tree, but the real banyan tree is compared to the spiritual world, which is full of happiness and eternality. Material world is temporary and also filled with suffering. Now Prabhupada is telling how the path to go back to spiritual world. Yes.
We are after designation. Someone wants to become Sir. Someone wants to become Lord. Someone wants to become the president, or a rich man, or a king, or something else. As long as we are attached to these designations, we are attached to the body, because designation belong to body, but we are not this bodies, and realizing this is the first stage in spiritual realization. We are associated with the three modes of material nature, but we must become detached through devotional service to the Lord. If we are not attached to devotional service to the Lord, then we cannot become detached from the modes of the material nature. Designation and attachment are due to our lust and desire, our wanting to lord it over the material nature. As long as we do not give up this propensity of lording it over material nature, there is no possibility of returning to kingdom of the Supreme, the Sanatan Dham.
So the thing is, we have to cultivate detachment through devotional service. Okay, then Prabhupada is talking about the law of last thought. Yes, Prabhupada, you can read.
One who thinks of Krishna at the time of his death goes to Krishna. One must remember the form of Krishna. If he quits his body thinking of this form, he surely approaches the spiritual kingdom. Mad Bhavam refers to supreme nature of the supreme being.
Yeah. So then Prabhupada talks about if somebody wants, they can even go to Brahma Jyoti. Like those who think only about the impersonal Brahman. Then even somebody can even go to Vaikunta, or they can go to Goloka. Is it in this? Yes, yes. Okay, you can read according to.
According to our activities in this life, we either rise or sink. This life is preparation for the next life. If we can prepare, therefore, in this life to get promotion to the kingdom of God, then surely after quitting this material body, we will attain a spiritual body just like the Lord's.
Yeah, so it depends what we remember at the time of death, but what we remember at the time of death depends on how we conduct our life. Okay. Now Prabhupada talks again about the two energies of the Lord. Yes.
The Supreme Lord has diverse and innumerable energies which are beyond our conception. However, great learned sages or liberated souls have studied these energies and have analyzed them into three parts. All of the energies are of Vishnu Shakti. That is to say that they are different potencies of Lord. The first energy is para, transcendental. Living entities also belong to the supreme energy, as has already been explained. The other energies or material energies are in the mode of ignorance. At the time of death, either we can remain in the inferior energy of the material world, or we can transfer to the energy of spiritual world.
Yes. Now Prabhupada is telling how to take shelter of spiritual energy. Yes.
There are so many literatures which fill our thoughts with the material energy, newspaper, magazine, novel, etc. Our thinking, which is now absorbed in this literature, must be transferred to the Vedic literature. The great sages, therefore, have written so many Vedic literatures, such as the Puranas. The Puranas are not imaginative; they are historical record. In the Chaitanya Chaitamrit Madhya Leela 20.122, there is a following verse: Maya Madhya Jive Nahi
Swata Krishna Gyan.
Swata Krishna Gyan Jiver Kripa Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. The forgotten living entities or conditioned soul have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord. They are engrossed in thinking of material activity just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual sky. Krishna Dvipayan Vyas has given a great number of Vedic literatures. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, we must always.
We must always engage our mind in reading this Vedic literature, just as materialists engage their mind in reading newspaper, magazine, and so many material literature. We must transfer our reading to this literature, which are given by us by Vedvyas, given to us by Vedvyas. In that way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. That is the only suggested by the Lord, and He grants the result. There is no doubt.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is stressing that we should read Bhagavad Gita not just for knowing about the Lord, but also even for remembering the Lord. Yes.
Yeah. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaram yudasya cha mam aprata
Mayarpita Manobuddhi
arpito manor buddhi mama evas
Evashasi Asakshaya.
samsaya. Therefore, Arjun, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the time continue your prescribed duty of fighting with your activity dedicated to me, and your mind and intelligence fixed on me. You will attain me without doubt. Bhagavad Gita 8.7.
Yeah, like even Sanjaya also says, Samvadam imam ashrausham adbhutam roma harshanam. So Sanjaya means went into ecstasy, just remembering means he says at the end of Gita that he remembered it, he remembered this conversation again and again, and uh, his his hands are trembling and he's crying in ecstasy. So it also evokes it can also evoke ecstasy. It's not just for knowing about Krishna, but can remembering Krishna in that way also. Even Arjuna also says to Yudhishthir in Bhagavatam, That one I remember the words of Govinda, which were suitable to place, time, and subject, which calmed the pain in my heart. Yeah, yeah. So that also is there. Okay, so now you can take some 3 minutes and think about like why we need to read Shastra. Can't we just hear lectures? Like, what value addition Shastra gives? Then we'll discuss. Okay, yes. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Bro Shrikant, Bro, you can take.
So here are 2 points. One is that Shastra is the original source of truth. Can connect with the author of the Shastras,
Hmm.
and we can understand by reading them what they want to share with us, their feeling. Second point was that I heard in Amarendra Prabhu's class
Hmm.
that hearing is an passive service because all efforts are taken by the speaker. He's presenting it, he's preparing for the class and all. And we are passive. But in book reading, the book is passive. We have to be active. We have to read it. We can contemplate over the what we have read, and we can spend that time.
Yes, yes. Good points. Thank you. Yeah, Guru Sadhu Shastra. So, Shastra is the original source that we can validate. Yes, yes, Shastra.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, first point is to verify whatever we hear, because sometimes it may be chances because in the outside world people are proposing their idea in the name of the Shastra. So if we read the Shastra, we can understand whatever is mixing is going on. And second is relish the mellows of Krishna, because whenever we read, we feel our personal in the we can say that by the our personal experience we can establish the relationship with the Krishna. Whenever we read, we understand our nature. So whatever mood we have, we are in the which rasas and all.
Yeah, that may not be so. Yeah, that will take its own time, but okay. Yeah, that is an ultimate thing. Yes. Okay.
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, Shastras are the authority sources of perfect knowledge.
Mm.
So there is no questioning of doubting it.
Okay. Yes. Correct. Mm. Good. Good. Yes, that's a good.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. And Shastras also, they give a more systematic in a systematic way. Shastra is more systematic than what we hear in lecture. Lecture, it can be more. Not always lectures are systematic. Sometimes they may be more centered on giving inspiration, motivation. It's like that. Sometimes they may be centered on particular situation, occasion, or festival, like that. So that is the benefit of Shastra. And yeah, so it gives more clarity in understanding also. Like hearing, it can be more, it may give more inspiration, motivation, but Shastra gives more understanding and more, it's more philosophical and all. So that way, you can always try to contemplate on Shastra also. It's easy to contemplate on Shastra, but what we hear means that's little challenging. Yeah. The depth may be little less in what we hear, but in Shastra the depth is more because it's written with a lot of thought. Yeah. Okay. Now, now Prabhupada is saying about how we can harmonize our prescribed duties with Krishna consciousness. It's not, we need not leave them. Yes, Prabhu, you can read.
The Lord therefore tells Arjun that he needs not give up his occupation, but while he is engaged in his occupation, he should remember Krishna, Mam Anusmara, Bhagavad Gita 8.7. If he does not practice remembering Krishna while he is struggling for existence, then it will not be possible for him to remember Krishna at the time of death. Lord Chaitanya also advised this. He says, Kirtaniya Sada Hari, CC Adi Lila 17.31. One should practice chanting the names of the Lord always. The names of the Lord and the Lords are not different. So, Lord Krishna's instruction to Arjun to remember me, the Lord Chaitanya's injunction to always chant the name of Lord Krishna are the same instruction. Shall I continue to?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. If a married woman is attached to another man, or if a man has an attachment for a woman other than his wife, then the attachment is to be considered very strong. One with such a attachment is always thinking of loved one. The wife who is thinking of her lover is always thinking to meeting him, even while she is carrying out her household uh, chores. In fact, she carries out her household work even more carefully, so her husband will not suspect her attachment. Similarly, we should always remember the supreme lover, Shri Krishna, and at the same time, perform our material duties very nicely. A strong sense of love is required here. If we have a strong sense of love for the Supreme Lord, then we can discharge our duty and at the same time remember Him.
Yeah. Can anyone guess like this? Who told whom? This analogy. Any guess?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
Two?
Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami.
Yeah, good. I think also to Raghunath Das Goswami also I told. Okay. Yeah, so this is told means this Prabhupada is giving this analogy so that those who are doing prescribed duties outside in the outside world, so they can follow this so that they can be Krishna conscious even during doing prescribed duties. Mamanusmara Vidyacha. Yeah. Now Prabhupada is giving a more nuanced or more practical explanation on how to do that. Yes, Prabhu, you can read.
We work not with our body actually, but with our mind and intelligence. So, if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged in the thought of Krishna, Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in His service. Superficially, at least the activities of the senses remain the same, but the consciousness is changed. The Bhagavad Gita teaches one how to absorb the mind and intelligence in the thought of the Lord. Such absorption will enable one to transfer himself to the kingdom of God, of Lord.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you can. One more question you can think about. Okay, you can take around again 4 minutes and think about these three questions. In general, in what things materialist intelligence and mind are engaged, especially those who are working outside, not not some children or old people. Yeah. Then how to engage our intelligence in Krishna. This is more, yeah, those who are working outside, more for like adults. And how to engage mind in Krishna. Okay. Okay, yes. Okay, yes, Yashas bro, for first question. Okay, can tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So there is a lots of things. So most commonly things are money, future, and if a person is
Okay,
lusty,
two
then
things you told. Maybe
okay.
you'll hear from others. Yes, okay, Shrikant bro.
Same points. Additionally, like, how one can complete the given tasks on time and learn new technologies to progress.
Okay. Material growth, yes.
Material growth and yeah, completing the tasks,
Yes, yes.
daily tasks.
Yes, Amrita Mataji.
So, sometime every time they are thinking about material growth, but sometimes they are feeling jealous and engage their mind and how they are their colleagues are coming growths and we are not getting growths.
Okay. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Generally, whatever he does, he thinks then after getting that money, how to enjoy that money. He thinks of always enjoyment.
Yeah. How to enjoy now, how to show off that he's enjoying. That also.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank
now
you.
second question. How to engage our intelligence in Krishna. Yes, Amrita Mataji, you can say.
Uh, we are engaging our intelligence in Krishna consciousness means when we are earning something, we are thinking how to engage that things, whatever we are earning or whatever we have intelligent. Think I am a artist or painter, so we think how to engage that intelligence in Krishna service, like a temple decorating or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do some service to Krishna, yeah, that is like engaging intelligence in Krishna. Yes. Okay. Yes, Yashraj bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So as Mataji said, whatever skills we have, we can engage in the service of Krishna. And second thing, so sometime if we take some responsibility, so at that time our intelligence also enhance whatever we think. Sometime if somebody have some task or some project, so he enhances intelligence how to do that, how can we manage.
Yes.
So at the time of the anxiety, our intelligence will boost.
Yes, yes.
So at that way, if we take some responsibility, then our intelligence, we can use our intelligence in the service of Krishna.
Yes, yes, very good, relevant point. Yes. Okay, Shrikant bro.
For engaging the intelligence, we can study the philosophy, the Shastras, and we can also engage in preaching it to others.
Yes,
So that
yes, good,
intelligence.
good. Yes. Even Krishna says
Can I
in
answer, Prabhuji?
the 18th chapter that studying Gita is like worshipping Krishna with intelligence. Yes, bro, you can tell.
We can use our intelligence in preaching in the society about Krishna consciousness, meeting with different kinds of people, reading their mind and understanding how we can
Yes, preaching is a good engagement. Correct. Okay, now how to engage our
preach them
mind in
nicely so that
Krishna.
they come to Krishna.
How to engage our mind in Krishna. Okay.
Thinking
Okay,
about
Shrikant.
Krishna,
Yes, yes, bro. You can, yes, please tell.
thinking about Krishna, focusing our mind on Krishna's form, how Krishna has been dressed up today, like what is there in
Okay,
the
good.
feet, like Tulsi is
Yes, yes, good, good, good. Yeah, thinking about deities and also serving deities.
there, Tulsi Mala is there. That's
Yes,
the feet area.
yes, yes, yes. Good. Thank you. Yeah, thinking about focusing on that deity form and seeing how they're dressed, that is a good way of dovetailing our emotions on Krishna and also meditating. Yes, bro, Shrikant, bro.
So three things. One is for engaging mind
At the same
chanting
time,
and kirtan. And saying,
thinking of how to please our spiritual master and Krishna,
Yeah, good. Okay, thank you.
engaging in mind in pleasing Krishna and spiritual
Yes,
master.
yes. Shrikant, you can answer.
yes, Prabhu. And second point was about pastimes of Lord are so
Mm.
beautiful that mind gets attracted. So we can read about pastimes, we can watch the plays, dramas that devotees do on the pastimes, or we
Okay.
can watch the pastimes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Chanting a little difficult, but it may be for advanced devotees, but yeah, definitely, yeah, reading pastimes is a good thing. Okay, yes, Raj bro, you can do that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mm.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah. So, Prabhuji, as per all Prabhuji said, but there is one more thing. If we read about the pastime of Krishna,
Mm.
so if we get just like when we see the deity, so we see the details. So if we know more about the Krishna, our eagerness will increase. How Krishna walk, how Krishna doing so many pastime. So if we remember the pastime and with the philosophy, not only just like Sahajas thinking about the Krishna, but if we think Krishna's pastime with the philosophy, then our mind will automatically engaged in the Krishna. Because there is a one pastime of Prabhupada, Krishna says, before the sleeping, we have to read the Krishna book. Because when we read the Krishna, Krishna comes in our dream.
Yeah, if
So,
you do it regularly, it will happen. Of course, contemplation is more activity of intelligence, but yeah. Of course, apart from that, if you do prayers also, if you recite prayers, that is also like dovetailing our emotions towards Krishna. That will help. And kirtans also is a good way of engaging the mind. Hearing kirtans or even performing kirtan. Okay, thank you. Now,
Can I answer something
Prabhupada,
more, Prabhuji?
yeah,
We can share our mind with Krishna. We can talk to Krishna, or
that's very advanced. But yeah, that is also, I mean, yes. Yeah, offering prayers is like sharing our mind with Krishna. Yeah, we can offer our own personal prayers also, apart from reciting the standard prayers. Yes.
there is one small, this small 1 or 2 minutes katha is there. There was one person who was worshipping Lord Krishna, and but he was having some material desires.
Mm.
So he he worshipped Krishna, but Krishna didn't fulfill his desire.
Mm.
So he kept Krishna's idol inside the cupboard, and he brought some demigod and started worshipping him. So when he was applying that dhoop and agarbatti and all, he used to put the this cotton in the nose of the Krishna, that he should not smell this.
Mhm.
He was having the faith that Krishna is hearing his what he's talking. Krishna is hearing, but he's not answering. He's not fulfilling my desire. So
Okay.
at last the Krishna laughed at him, and then he said, "Let me know so what is your desire," and he fulfilled his desire. So he was having complete faith in Krishna. He was worshipping with that. But still, when Krishna didn't respond him, then he acted in this way. He was sure that Krishna is going to smell this, what he's applying for demigod also. So
Yeah.
this katha was told by Her Grace Nitai Sevni Mataji.
So
Wonderful story it was.
good, but we cannot imitate. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, Yashras Priya, can read?
however, one must learn it from an experienced person. Tad Vijnanartham sa guru eva gachet. Mandukopnishad 1.2.12. One must approach a person who is already in practice. The mind is always flying to this and that, but one must practice concentrating the mind always on the form of the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, or on the sound of his name. The mind is naturally restless, going hither,
Hither and thither.
hither and thither, hither and thither. But it can rest in the sound vibration of Krishna.
Yeah. So as you told about if you hear pastimes and all, mind can be absorbed. Even kirtans, prayers, all that. Yeah, so it is important that we should consciously try to see that our intelligence and mind gets engaged in Krishna. Otherwise, they may get distracted to what even the materialists do. So we should be conscious always. We should always be alert, like where our intelligence and mind are going, and should always try to rectify and improve on how we are engaging them in Krishna. Like, yeah, taking some more responsibilities or taking some preaching engagements, they are very good ways to do that. Yes, Yashrat, we have some question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, it's oftenly see that when we are chanting, our mind is going either there or somewhere else. But
Yeah.
when we are doing kirtan, our mind is fixed.
Hmm.
So, is there any signs of atmosphere? Because atmosphere also uh, plays a very important role.
Yeah, we are with devotees, that could be one. And yeah, it may be also mind also maybe focusing on the tune also. See, if really my during Kirtan or my mind is focusing only on Krishna, or the core focus is Krishna, then on Japa also it should not have problem. So it could be more on the tune and the melody and all. Also, and it makes it easy because mind got something of interest, na? So then it calms down. So then the holy name can go into the ears and all that is also there. Yeah, that way. Japa it is more challenging. So then we'll really understand how much taste we have or attraction we have for the holy name. Yeah, that happens slowly by purification and by increase of faith and all. It happens slowly, gradually it will happen. Yeah, you can continue.
Yes. The point is that anyone who accepts the principle of Bhakti Yoga and accepts the Supreme Lord as the Saman Bhuman of life,
Samam
as
bonam.
the high, yes,
Samam bonam of life. Yes.
Saman Bonam of life, as the highest target, the ultimate goal can approach the Lord in the spiritual sky. If one adopts the principle and
Enunciated in Bhagavad.
initiated in Bhagavad Gita, he can make his life perfect and make a permanent solution to all the problem of life. This is the sum and substance of the entire Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. Yeah, now Prabhupada has completed the introduction. So yeah, so the conclusion or sum and substance of Bhagavad Gita is that we should follow the principles given in Bhagavad Gita on like focusing our mind and intelligence on Krishna, as Prabhupada explained a little bit earlier, and in that way get purified and make a permanent solution to the problems of life. So now Prabhupada is giving some glorifications on Gita and on reading Gita and all these things from Gita Mahatmya, which is composed again by Sripad Shankaracharya. Yeah. So you can read the highlighted portions, translations.
Yes. If one properly follow the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, one can be freed from all miseries and anxieties in this life, and one's next life will be spiritual.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. If one read Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of his past misdeed will not act upon him.
Yeah. So the second shloka, karma will get erased. The first shloka is talking about there will be no future miseries and anxieties.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Thus the Lord takes all responsibility for one who surrender unto him, and he indemn-
Indemnifies.
indemnifies such a person against all reaction of sins.
Yeah, so Prabhupada is explaining that second shloka only by quoting this verse from Gita. Okay, next.
One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Gita Mahatma 3.
So Bhagavad Gita purifies our intelligence and also our heart. So like for body we may take bath. So similarly for the intelligence we should read Gita. Or we should hear some philosophy. Gita is better. Yes. Like many people recite whole entire Gita every day. So, or sometimes one chapter. That Chad is there, chapter a day. So that is also like those things are good. Yes, next.
Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities that it is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literature. But this is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic literature, and especially because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
It is small also. It is the essence of Vedic literature and it is also concise, small. So next.
One who drinks the water of Ganges attains salvation. So, what to speak of one who drinks the nectar of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the essential nectar of Mahabharata, and it is spoken by the Lord Krishna himself, the original Vishnu.
Yeah, Ganga only can give salvation, but Bhagavad Gita can also give love for Krishna. Yeah.
The Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all Upanishads, is the just like a cow. And the Lord Krishna, who is famous as a coward boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf, and learned scholar and pure devotees are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Next.
Yeah. In the present day, people are very much eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, and one occupation. Therefore, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Let there be one scripture only, one common scripture for all, whole word Bhagavad Gita. Eko Deva Devaki Putra Eva. Let there is one God for the whole word, Shri Krishna. Eka Mantrasya Namani Yani. And the one hymn, one mantra, one prayer, the chanting of his name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Karmanya ekam tasya devasya seva. And let there be one work only, the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So yeah, even now also for Hinduism, especially they see Bhagavad Gita. Many Hindus they accept Bhagavad Gita as a Hindu primary Hindu scripture. Also to some extent Ramayana and also then Mahabharata. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we have completed the introduction. Now this is a prayer by Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan in the introduction to his commentary Gita Bhushan. So here he says, Ajnana niradir upaiti yava vishesham bhakti parapi bhajate pariposhamuchay tattvam param spurati durgamavapi ajashram sadgunaya vrit swarachitam pranamami Gitam. I offer my respects to the Gita which was spoken by the Lord endowed with perfect qualities. Lord endowed with perfect qualities, a work by which the ocean of ignorance meet its complete end, by which pure bhakti becomes fully nourished to the highest degree, because yeah, highest degree is when bhakti is directed to Krishna, and by which the supreme truth, normally difficult to understand, becomes eternally manifest. So three benefits. One is ignorance is destroyed. Second, bhakti is nourished. Third is you will get transcendental knowledge. Okay. Then Prabhupada use the disciplic succession. Okay. So in the disciplic succession, Baldev Debushan first, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote, and then Baldev Debushan commented, and then Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wrote commentaries, and then Prabhupada wrote commentaries on Gita. Okay, now we will start the first chapter. Yeah. So we'll discuss a little bit on the flow. So Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 chapters, generally the prime focus is on Karma Yoga, and the middle 6 chapters, the focus is on Bhakti Yoga from 7th to 12th. And then again 13th to 18th, it is more like Jnana, but you can also say Jnana Yoga. Like Baldev Debushan again gives this analogy. It's like there is a base and the lid, and in between it's like a box, a transparent box containing a golden ornament. So the lid is like the first 6 chapters, the ornament is like the middle Bhakti Yoga chapter, and the base is again the last 6 chapters. So the real ornament is Bhakti, and it shines through both the lid and the base. Means it also means that the Karma Yoga also is dependent on Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana also is also dependent on Bhakti Yoga. That we will study as we read. Okay. So now this actually the chapterization is done by again done by Sripad Shankaracharya, and the names are given to the chapters by Ramanujacharya. So the first chapter is also called as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So in the first chapter, the background for Bhagavad Gita is prepared, like the background for the conversation, and the conversation starts in the first chapter. So real philosophy and all, it comes in the second chapter. Okay. So again, in the first chapter, the first 2 verses, they describe about the Dharma Kshetra. And 1.3 to 11, that from 3rd to 11 verses, they describe the Duryodhana's diplomacy and all. How Duryodhana, he estimates and talks to Dronacharya, that is described. Then 14 to 20, so once Duryodhana is, Bhishma could sense that Duryodhana is anxious about victory and all. So he blows the conch shell. So then uh, Arjuna and Krishna also blows the conch shell. So there the first description of Krishna, mention of Krishna comes. So then Sanjay describes more about the signs, means more auspicious things of Krishna's chariot, Arjuna's chariot, and all those things. Arjuna's confidence, those all things Sanjay describes. Then Krishna as Bhakta Vatsal, like how Krishna is not taking the chariot in between the armies when Arjuna told him. So though that thing is described in next 21 to 27 verses. Then the then Arjuna in 28th verse onwards, Arjuna gets bewildered and he laments. Then the discussion on Arjuna starts giving reasons. So he gives first 4 reasons in this chapter and 5th reason in the second chapter. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Yashras Prabhu, you can repeat after me. Shri Dhritarashtra Uvacha
Shri Dhritarashtra Uvacha
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayutsava
Dharmashetre Kurukshetre Samvetayuvatsava
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Mamaka Pandavascheva Kim Akurvat Sanjaya.
Yeah, so Dhritarashtra is asking Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Kurukshetra being a Dharma Kshetra, the Samaveta Yuyutsava, Pandavas and Kauravas are assembled there. Then again he's saying Mamaka. He's referring to Kauravas as Mamaka, but he's referring Pandavas as Pandavas. So they are also his children, means brother, children of his brother. They are also in the same family. Kimakurvata. So it's a little no, it's a little, what is it, seems like a foolish question that they have come here to fight, he is telling, and then again he's asking why, what they are doing. So that Prabhupada explains what is actually going in the mind of the Dhritarashtra. The translation is, O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Initially, Prabhupada is telling like what is Gita and how to read Gita. Yes, Prabhupada, you can read.
Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of Gita. They say that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Shri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretation. The example of clear understanding is there in Bhagavad Gita itself. In the way of teaching is understood by Arjun, who hear the Gita directly from the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita in that line of discipline succession without motive, motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scripture of the world. One will find in the Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in other scripture, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere.
Yeah, just so
yeah.
if you say Vedas they contain Karma Kand, but they don't contain about Jnana. But Bhagavad Gita contains Karma Yoga also and Jnana Yoga. If you take both Vedas and Upanishads, they contain Karma and Jnana, but they don't contain Bhakti. So Bhagavad Gita contains all the three. So that way Bhagavad Gita has unique, means what others have, it has that also, but it has also Bhakti also. Yes. Yeah, can continue.
Yeah, that is the specific standard of the Gita. It is perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna.
Yeah. Now Prabhupada is describing the context of Gita. Yes. You can read this also, the topics is this.
The topic discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjay, as discussed in the Mahabharata, from the basic principle of for this great philosophy, from the basic principle for this great philosophy, it is understood that this philosophy involved on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of the Vedic age. It is spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind.
Okay, next.
Effect of Dharmashetra. The word Dharmashetra, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjun. Dhritarashtra, the father of Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjay, what did they do? He was confident that both his son and the sons of his younger brother Pandu were assembled in the field of Kurukshetra for a determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want to compromise between the cousins and the brothers, and he wanted to be sure of fate of his son. on the battlefield, because the battle was arranged to be fought at the Kurukshetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the
Denizens of heaven.
denizens of heaven. Dhritarashtra become very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjun and the son of Pandu favorably, because by nature they were all victorious. Sanjay was student
Virtuous.
of Vyas, virtuous, virtuous. Sanjay was a student of Vyas, and therefore, by the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjay was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so, Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield.
Yeah. So it's like a first live telecast. So Dhritarashtra has two fears. One is by the influence of Kurukshetra, which is a very pious place. It should not influence his sons Kauravas, that they become more good, or they become more peace loving, and they make compromise. They make peace deal with no Pandavas. He is afraid of that also, and more he is afraid is that the Kurukshetra should not favor the Pandavas, so that they may become victorious. So that is also his fear. So like if somebody is attached to a result, one will be naturally anxious. Like even while watching a cricket match, or even sometimes elections, like these things, if one is attached to a particular outcome, so naturally they'll be anxious. Similarly, Dhritarashtra is attached that his sons only should become victorious, so that's why he is anxious and is worried. Yeah, you can read next.
Yeah. Heart of Dhritarashtra. Both the Pandavas and the son of Dhritarashtra belong to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. His deliberately claim only his son as Kurus, and he separated the son of Pandu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephew, the son of Pandu.
Okay, next.
As yeah. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out. So it is accepted from the very beginning of this topic that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Shri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants like the Dhritarashtra son Duryodhan and other would be whipped out, and the thoroughly religious person headed by the Yudhishthir would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of word Dharma Kshetre and Kurukshetre. Apart from their historical and Vedic importance, surrender unto me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that is, so this is an analogy. Like Kurukshetra is like a field, and Kauravas are like unwanted plants. And Krishna, as the expert planter, he is going to remove those weeds. But this is an analogy. But sometimes some people, they say Bhagavad Gita is only a symbolic thing. So that is not, but there is history, means it is a real thing. Like we have Kurukshetra place, all those places are there, Jyotisar and all. So that is another issue. Okay, now I'll go to the second verse. You can repeat after me. Okay. Sanjay Uvacha
Sanjay Uvacha
Drishtva tu Pandavanikam Vyudam Duryodhanastata
Drishtva tu Panduvanikam Vyunam Duryodhanastatha
Acharyam Raja Vachanam Abravit.
Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Bravit.
So now Dhritarashtra is anxious, so Sanjaya could sense it in his words. So Sanjaya is now trying to give assurance to Dhritarashtra by saying that how Duryodhana is fully motivated to win, and he's So now he is describing like how Duryodhana went to Drishtva. So Raja Acharyam Upasangamya means Duryodhana went to the Acharya. Acharya is referring to Dronacharya. Upasangamya Vachanam Abravati. He spoke in this way. What it is? Drishtva tu Pandavanikam. See how the Pandavas are viewed, how they have arranged their army expertly. Like that. Duryodhana is telling to Dronacharya. Now, from this, quite some many shlokas are like the Duryodhana speaking to Dronacharya. Okay, the translation is, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. Yeah. You can read. Read.
Yeah. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and the Sanjay could understand his motive is asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sanjay wanted therefore to encourage the disappointed king, and thus assured him that his son were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjay therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhan, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief Dronacharya, informed him of the real position. Although Duryodhan is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician, but Duryodhan's diplomatic veneer could be discussed. Could not discuss the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas.
Okay. Raja means here who is good at Rajaniti. So yeah, Sanjay has very good emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means understanding our emotions also and able to understand others' emotions and acting accordingly. So like a good mother can understand if the child is crying means whether child is hungry or the child is angry or so like that. Yeah, like also it is said like Damodar Goswami, he used to expertly understand the mood of Lord Chaitanya and used to sing songs accordingly. Whether Lord Chaitanya is feeling separation or Lord Chaitanya is happy, Sambhoga or Vipralambha, so accordingly. Okay, next. Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Shamam.
Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharyam Mahitim Chamum.
Yudam Drupadaputrena Tabasishyena Dhimata.
Vyunam Drupadaputrena Taushishyena Dhimata.
Now again Duryodhana is saying Pashyetam, see this. Panduputrana means the army of the sons of Pandu. Acharya Mahatim Shamum, it's a very big army. Yudam Drupadaputrena. See, it is by your disciple Drupada, Drishtadyumna, who is the son of Drupada, who has arranged this thing. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Again, Duryodhana is sarcastically, telling Dronacharya. Yeah, Prabhupada explains. You can read purport.
Yeah. Duryodhana, a great diplomat, want to point out the defect of Dronacharya, the great Brahman commander-in-chief, meaning of Raja, expert in Rajniti.
Yeah, so this is referring to both this slogan and previous. Yes.
Dronachar had some political quarrel with King Drupad, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupad performed a great sacrifice by which he received a benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahman, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secret when the son of Drupad, Drishtadumna, was entrusted to him for military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtadumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for this military
Balance.
phalanx. After having learned the art of the Dronacharya, Duryodhan pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya's so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fight. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in the battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate student. Arjun, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Dronacharya also warned that such
Leniency.
leniency in the fight would lead to defeat.
Yeah. So Dronacharya initially only could have avoided training Drishtadyumna. This is what Duryodhana want to say, but because he trained him, now that same what he learnt from Dronacharya, Drishtadyumna used it to arrange the army of Pandavas. So now Duryodhana is saying, at least now you don't again become partial to Arjuna and other Pandavas, and you fight with your full strength and vigor. Otherwise, we may get defeated. Now, Duryodhana compares the strength of Pandavas and the Kauravas. Okay. Atra Shura Maheshwasha Bhimarjuna Samayudhi.
Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi.
Yudhano Viratascha Draupadascha Maharata.
Yudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha.
Here in this army, there are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi. Great fighters like Yudhana, Virata, and Drupada. Yeah. The Yudhana is Satyaki. Satyaki is Yadava, means who's he's a disciple of Arjuna and he's fighting on Pandava's side. He's also the charioteer of Krishna. Yeah. And Maharata means one who can fight at once with 10,000 archers. Maharata is used here. Drupadascha Maharata. They are all Maharatas. And Adhirata means who can fight with unlimited archers. Adhirata. And Ratha means he can fight with one archer. And Artharata means he is less than a Ratha. And Duryodhana is continuing. Drishtaketus Chekitana. Yeah. Drishtaketu Chekitana Kashi Rajascha Viryavan.
Drishtaketuscha Ketana Kashirajascha Viryavan.
Purijit Kunti Bhojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungava.
Purujit Kuntu Bhojascha Shavyascha Narapungava.
There are also great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraj, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, and Shaibhya. So Drishtaketu is son of Shishupal, who is fighting on the side of Pandavas. So like different kings, some chose the side of Pandavas and some chose Kauravas side. Some are attracted to Pandavas, but some have enmity with Kauravas. So yeah, different. Chekitana is a son of Drishtaketu. Chekitana is son of Drishtaketu, who is son of Shishupal. Kashiraj is king of Kashi, who is a father-in-law of Duryodhana. And Kunti Bose is the king who adopted Kunti as his daughter. Kunti was originally daughter of Surasen and sister of Vasudeva. Purujit is son of Kunti Voj, and Shaibya is king of Shibi. Yudhamanyuscha Vikranta Uttamojascha Viryavan.
Yudhamanyuscha Vikranta Uttamojascha Viryavan.
Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva Eva Maharata.
Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva Eva Maharatah.
Again, these are also Maharatas who can fight with 10,000 archers. There the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamaoja, the son of Shubhadra and the sons of Draupadi, all these warriors are great chariot fighters. Yudhamanyu and Uttamaoja, they are princes from Panchala, from the kingdom of Drupada. So they are princes from Panchal Desh. Saubhadra is Abhimanyu. Saubhadra means son of Shubhadra, so Abhimanyu. Draupadeya means 5 sons of Draupadi. Their names are Prativindya, Shrutasena, Shrutakirti, Satanika, and Shrutakarma. Cha here refers to Gatotkacha. Draupadeyascha is there, no? So Cha. Gatotkacha is son of Bhima and Hidimbi. Now Duryodhana is telling about his side. Asmakam tu vishishta etan tan niboda dvijottama.
Asmak tu Vishishta Yetan Bodha Dvijottama.
Nayaka mama sainyascha samnyardam tan bravimite.
Nayaka Mama Sainyasya Sangyartham Tan Brahmivite.
Yeah. So now telling to Dronacharya, now hear about the people who are leading our army. But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. So now Duryodhana is estimating it. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Krupascha Samitinjaya.
Bhavan Bhishmasya Karnasya Krapasya Samatinjaya.
Ashwadhama Vikarnascha Somadattastataiva cha.
Ashwathama Vikarnasya Somadattistatheva cha.
The translation is, there are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwadhama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. Yeah. They have a track record of victory. Yes, here, though Bhishma is more elder to Dronacharya, in one sense also is greater in strength in some way, but because to encourage Dronacharya, Duryodhana is mentioning him first. Bhavan means you. And then he's telling Bhishma. Duryodhana mentions the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana. Yeah. Ashwadhama is the son of Dronacharya. Yeah, Vikarna is one who actually opposes disrobing of Draupadi. And Somadatta or Bhurishrava is the son of the king of Bahilkas. Karna is the half brother of Arjuna, and yeah, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya. Now, Duryodhana is saying that no, everyone is in my control and everyone is ready to lay their lives for me. Anyecha bahava shura madarde tyakta jivita.
Anye cha Bhav Shura Madhyarthe Tyakta Jivata.
Nana shastra praharana sarva yuddha visharata.
Nana Shastra Praharna Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha.
Yeah, Nana shastra praharana. So they know how to use different weapons, and not only they know how to use different weapons, but they know also how to fight with them and win with them. They have both expertise but they also have courage. Some may have expertise, but they may not have courage. You can say sportsmen and all, they may have expertise, but they may not have courage. To fight, one needs courage. The translation, there are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives. Madarte Tyakta Jivita. For my sake, all of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. Okay. As far as the others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. Yeah. In other words, Jayadratha is one of the Kaurava. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Yeah, this is how our acharyas interpret the verse. Tyakta Jivita means they are ready to lay down their lives, or it can also mean they are going to lay down their lives. So both. So even in one sense, Duryodhana is saying like this, but even before the battle begins, only Karna says he does not agree with he does not agree to cooperate with Bhishma. He says, as long as Bhishma is the commander, I am not going to fight. So that's why a leader should not be overconfident. Should always need to take feedback consistently and try to improve. Like we see Chitraketu also. When Chitraketu, that Harsha was born to him, he becomes overconfident or he becomes too absorbed and he neglects his other wives. So then it creates problem. Now Duryodhana says about the quantity. So till now he showed about quality. Like he has very good fighters. The Pandavas are not so much good. Now he tells about quantity. Aparyaptam tadasmakam bhalam bhishmabhirakshitam.
अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम्
Paryaptam tu idam etesham bhalam bhimabhirakshitam.
पर्याप्तं त्व इदं तेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्.
Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. I can read the purport.
Yeah. Herein, estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhan. He thinks that the strength of his armed forces is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of Pandavas are limited, being protected by less experienced general Bhima, who is like a fish in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhan was always envious of Bhim because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhim. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of presence of Bhishma, who was a far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious was well ascertained.
So he was banking on Bhishma. So there is something called as Saraswati Arth, means Mother Saraswati, like whenever they try to blaspheme Lord or Lord's devotees, in one sense here Duryodhana is blaspheming Pandavas. So Saraswati gives them the words in such a way that they will have two meanings. One meaning may outrightly indicate blasphemy, but in another meaning they are indirectly glorifying them. So here if you see Aparyaptam, in normal sense it may mean immeasurable and Paryaptam may mean measurable. So Paryaptam, the army of Pandavas is measurable, but the army of Kauravas is immeasurable. The same word Aparyaptam can also mean insufficient. So which means the army of Kauravas is insufficient, whereas paryaptam, sufficient means the army of Pandavas is sufficient. It can also mean that. So like this, our acharyas explain different verses, like when Hiranyakashipu speaks, or like also when the four Kumaras curse the Jai Vijay. So all these things our acharyas explain. Okay, next. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avastita.
अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भाग अवस्थिताः
Bhishmam eva bhirakshantu bhavanta sarva eva hi.
भीष्मम् एवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि
So all of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Now Duryodhana is saying to Dronacharya that you should all safeguard Bhishma. Yes, Prabhu, you can read Duryodhana.
Duryodhana, after praising the power of Bhishma, further
Yes.
considered that other might think that they had been considered less important. So, in his unusual diplomatic way, in his unusual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above word. He emphasized that Bhishma Dev was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man, and everyone must especially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight, and the enemy might take the advantage of his engagement on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes not leave their strategic position and allow the enemy to break the phalanx.
Thanks.
Duryodhan clearly felt that the victory of Kurus depend on the presence of Bhishma Dev. He was confident of full support of Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya in the battle because he well knew that they did not even speak a word. Even Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice, while she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the greatest generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up as they had done during the gambling performances.
So, yeah. So yes, so as Prabhupada is saying that Duryodhana does not want to neglect, he is showing that Dronacharya and all they should not feel minimized. So he's saying it's all your responsibility to protect Bhishma Dev. Yeah, it may happen sometimes if there are two children and the older child may get neglected when a newborn baby is there. All attention of the parents may go to the newborn baby. So a leader has to ensure that all everyone is feeling cared and attention is given to everyone. That balance one has to do there. Yes. Yeah, like our acharyas say that this actually Bhagavad Gita is so sweet and all, but the Duryodhana's words are like no, but it is starting with Duryodhana's words, Duryodhana's and Dhritarashtra's words. So our Acharya say it is just like no, in a big bowl of course they give example with salt, but yeah, it's also like a big bowl of sugar syrup is there and little salt is there, so it also becomes sweet. So that way. Okay. So now, yeah, you can take around 5 minutes. Like here, Duryodhana, we can see his anxiety, and he's dealing with anxiety in a particular way. So how he's dealing, you can just what he's trying, different things you can think about, and then can quote some similar examples from Shastra, like how some other person is also dealing with anxiety in a particular way. Then also it's like, is this the right way to deal with anxiety, or why even if somebody does all these things also still one remains anxious? You can think about it and we'll discuss.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, yes, for first question. Okay. Yes, Shrikant Prabhu, can you take the solid 2 points, please?
Ji, when he tried to manage the anxiety was like he approached his seniors, then he analyzed the opponent's strength, and then encouraged his own team by comparatively analyzing his own team's strength.
Yeah, so in a little more abstract way. Okay, yes, Raj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, Pruji, as we can see that Duryodhan was very anxious because in whatever commander in chief he had at that time, all are the affectionate to the Pandavas. So it's like he think that some enemies are in my camp who will affectionate to Pandavas and they will not kill the Pandavas. And the main problem of his actually the Kanna was not there at that time. So he's very enthusiastic who wants to kill the Arjun. And Arjun and Bhim are the main strength of the Pandavas. That's why he's some anxious. We can see that.
Okay. Good, good. Thank you. Okay, Sharad Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. So Duryodhana, he was anxious and he was trying to adjust it by more dependent on his own strength, the strength of his army. So there is God is nowhere picture in his discussion. So he was his anxiety management strategy was to be dependent on his own skills and strength.
Good, good, good. Thank you. So he's basically using material calculations and material adjustments. Okay. Okay, now for the second one. Any similar examples? Somebody who's using only dependent on only on material adjustments and material calculations. Okay, yes, Raj Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So the same example we can see in the Shastra is Hiranyakashipu.
Yes.
So he think that so Hiranyaksha killed by the Narayan, So he think that so he's a deva. So he wants that benediction that he will not kill by the man, animal, and so and that place, this place, and all the materials thing where we can be killed. So uh, we can see one is the Hiranyakashipu, and second one is the Ravan also. Because when the Brahma comes, he give the list. I will not kill by this, and he leave the humans because he think that he is so powerful, so human cannot kill him.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Good. Of course, you told both. Okay, anyone else wants to share, add anything? Okay, now the third one, yeah. Why this will not work means this is good, but still this is not sufficient. Material adjustments and material calculations. Yes, Shrikant Prabhu.
One is that one reason that he was still feeling anxious was thinking about the result, as you mentioned, continuously. And material factors are not the only factor that needs to be considered. It's mentioned that we should do our best, but we should leave the rest on Krishna.
Yeah, like Bhagavad Gita says, there are many factors which influence. Definitely one is destiny, which is not in our hand. We may not know, be able to know. There are many factors which may be playing in different ways. Like Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter describes the 5 factors of action. So the circumstance, the destiny, like Karna has a curse. He cannot do, Duryodhana cannot do anything about it now. So like that, different things are there. So that will not work. Yeah. So if one is spiritual, he will not be too much attached to the result. And he will also be aware that these all things are there. So he will not be worried. Yeah. And also Duryodhana is very self-centered. He is not worrying about others' concerns. So ideally, because he know that Dronacharya and Bhishma are not comfortable fighting with Pandavas because they are also affectionate to them. So ideally, if he's thinking about their happiness and all, he could have let them go. He could have just fought with help of Karna and Kauravas. But so while worrying about our priorities, we should also take care of others' concerns. Otherwise, that may again backfire. That is also there. Yes. So okay, so we'll continue from next class. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Yeah.
Thank you.
कृपा सिंधु वैष्णवेभ्यो